Hello everyone. I hope you are doing well. Sorry for this delay. We have a technical issue on the Zahhar microphone, and it's fixed now. And today we have another exciting session with Zahhar about Azure Document Intelligence. And before Zara start his session, let me share some information about our community. Microsoft Zero to Hero is part of Microsoft Learn community. As you see, Microsoft Learn is a set of learning content. You can join, you can ask your question from a lot of experts. As also, you can join from aka.ms Microsoft Learn community. And this is our July calendar, sorry. And the previous session, all of them uploaded on our YouTube channel. You can watch more, and I think as soon as possible we will share August calendar from Microsoft Zero to Hero. The last slide is our code of the conduct. Be aware of other, be friendly and passionate, be welcoming and respectful, be open to all question and viewpoint, be understanding of different, and finally be kind and consider to other in the chat, in the answer or question. Just for your information, we have a voucher, discount voucher from Microsoft, 50% from fundamental and advanced Microsoft. We will provide two best question. End of the session, you can ask your question. And yeah, so on. The time is to add the Zara on the stage. Hello again, Zara. Do you hear me? I think you are mute.
Hello, Mazen.
How are you?
All good, good. And you?
I'm fine, thank you for
Good.
asking. Yeah,
Please tell me
stage
how
is
much
yours.
time do I have for my presentation, because I can make it shorter or larger depending on what time we have remaining because of this technical glitch.
I think it's 1 hour we have. Is it okay? Maybe you can. Yeah, I think 1 hour is okay.
1 hour,
No problem.
nice, nice, good. Then let me yeah, share the slides here, and oh
Yeah,
yeah, they're
we
already
have
here.
your slide. Yes.
Very nice, very nice. Thank you.
Go ahead.
So yeah, I think we can start, and yeah. So for the thank you everyone for joining, and good morning if you're in the United States or other parts where there is morning now, or good afternoon, good evening if you're here in Europe, where I'm located. So my name is Zahhar. I'm a project manager working at EPAM Systems. Um, and yeah, IT engineer and IT geek by my nature. I like to explore new things, and as all this AI hype started last year, immediately I was looking for an opportunity to apply some AI powered solution, some AI powered thingy in the business domain where I'm working for. That's insurance. And finally, in the beginning of this year, we were able to deploy our Azure Document AI based solution in one of the insurance companies we're serving. And here is my use case presentation about it. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask them as they come, and yeah, don't wait till the very end, or wait. It's totally up to you. Yeah, I see here is a lovely comments panel where I see people are chatting. So feel free to chat your questions to me. I can interrupt my presentation. We have plenty of time. And I will answer the question on the go. Yeah, but if you would like to ask any generic question in the end of the session, also fine, because most likely we will not need 1 hour to cover this topic. Yeah, so once again, thank you for joining, and let's dive into the Azure Document AI in insurance. So I will start from a very short description what Azure AI document intelligence is. And for those of you who were already familiar with Azure offerings, you probably heard about Form Recognizer product that Microsoft had back then. And basically, Form Recognizer was a optical character recognition tool, and after it was very seriously upskilled, refactored, improved, it was reborn as a Azure AI document intelligence. But basically, under the hood, there is still our good old optical character recognition software that now we now we have it powered by machine learning. We have powered it by artificial intelligence, and that's how it's developing. A part of the OCR features Azure Document AI has a variety of the pre-built models, so you can throw there some of the documents you already may have, like invoices, ID cards, etc. And the data from those will be extracted in the structured format. But what makes this product especially beautiful that you can actually train your own models. So you can show them a handful of your document templates, and you can train your template-based classifier or a neural network-based classifier, so it will understand the document format, the template layout that you have in mind, and extract the data from it. So that's in a nutshell about the product as we have it. And now let's start from the business case. So I will tell you what for we are using Document AI in insurance. So for those who are not familiar with insurance, insurance is of course wide and big and has a different flavors and different types of product. But basically, they are all or mostly they are about people who have some property and potentially life, health, house, car, whatever. And in case something bad happens in their life, um, where people do not have money or need additional support, they can call insurance, and insurance will come. And if they have insurance policy and insurance coverage, then the insurance company kicks in and solves the big mess that life brings. So that was our case. So our customer was providing insurance coverage for people, and one particular use case was to target people who are not young. Let's put it this way: who are in their senior ages, who are probably even retired, like you see here on the picture. And those people, of course, might not have enough money to cope with the larger disasters that suddenly may come. Like here on the picture, you see some hurricane destroyed the house of this lovely elderly couple, and they don't have savings enough to pay the renovation. And in this case, they will go to insurance company and ask to compensate. So insurance company wanted to attract more clients like that, who are elderly people who would like to get their property insured. And obviously, when we are working with the elderly people, not all of them are digitally savvy. So many elderly people still rely on the good old paper technology. So they, when they will apply for insurance, they most likely opt for paper forms and not digital forms. So they will bring you your they will bring their documents. They will fill in some papers. Probably they will get some extracts the bank statements, bills, ID cards, and so on, and they come with all these papers to the insurance company, to the bank, or to the broker to buy an insurance, and then the insurance company needs to deal with a large amount of paper documents filled in with a handwriting and somehow to deal with that. So that was exactly the case of our client. For example, if someone wants to buy insurance or get a loan, then insurance is needed, and elderly people who want to get an insurance, they basically need to submit a lot of documents, including a very special document called evidence of insurability. So basically, additionally to all those documents like ID cards and applications, they also need a proof that they are in the good health, so they can pay back the loan if they are taking the loan, or that they can pay the installments if they're asking for insurance. So what kind of documents were there? And as you can imagine, we are dealing with elderly people, and elderly people, they might have not only the modern documents in the format of the plastic card, but they may also have a variety of documents at hand. They may have various passports, paper passports, various old ID cards, driver licenses that also exist in different flavors on the paper, on the plastic. So even if we will be limited with only one country, like in our example here on the screen, our insurance company, our client, decided to launch their product in Italy. So even with one country, we will have 3, 4, 5, up to 5 types of ID documents that can be in the circulation. And if you scale it to several markets where company operates, then we will easily end up with dozens of documents. And of course, each document has different layouts, and if you ask human people to extract the data from those documents, there will be a lot of mistakes, because people will be typing or looking for different type of data. They don't remember where the validity date, where is the birth date located on the document. So that will be very, very complicated and error-prone process. That totally makes sense to automate with the AI. A part of the ID documents, we have a lot of other documents that are needed for to get an insurance or to get a loan. So those are good health declaration, basically a questionnaire where people are checking or ticking checkboxes. And again, you can imagine that people may tick the checkboxes different way. They can strike through something, they can put X mark or the tick mark or draw something in. So there are a variety of ways how to fill in the form. They also need to provide some social security documents. For example, if this elderly people, then they have a pension, they have some retirement plan, so they can finance their living. And those documents also exist in different flavors depending in which institution they were issued, by which part of the country, or in which they also change year over year. Those are not very stable forms, so there can be different revisions or versions of the documents circulating simultaneously. That easily gives us around, in our case, several dozens of different document types that we had to jungle with. We were asking our client, so what is your current business process what is your current business architecture? And after plotting it to the diagram, we came up with this business architecture. So this is how the business of our client, insurance company, operated when we started. So basically, you can see on the left-hand side an applicant, who fills in some forms and prepares some documents, and then with the help of the smartphone, either themselves or their relative or the employee of the bank or the branch office. Basically, everybody is using a smartphone nowadays. There are no scanners. Yeah, probably someone still has a scanner at home or in the offices, but mostly people are not using scanners anymore. They use a smartphone as a scanner, so they picture all those paper documents, or they just get some saved digital forms, digital documents in their smartphone, and they send an email to the insurance company with the application to buy to purchase the insurance product. So insurance company employed a full-time agents. Here you can see them on the right upper side. So they were the whole bench of full-time agents. So those were specially hired and trained people who were trained to open emails. So daily from 8 to 6, they were opening mailbox and they were reading email. They were reading attachments from the email, and the volumes were about 200 emails per day that this company processed. So those people were extracting data from attachments from emails into the Excel file. Obviously, as I said, they did it with mistakes because of the enormous varieties of forms. Sometimes it was a poor quality of the files. Sometimes even people were sending a wrong file, so they had to revert back and forth until they get the right document from the applicant. And then once everything was more or less correct, they basically, in the end of the day, exported their CSV file, and the CSV file was imported into the underwriting application, evaluated, and then a decision was communicated back to the applicant whether he or she or they are accepted and they can actually benefit from this insurance product they're applying for or not. So obviously, this we were not able to change much the left-hand side because, as I told, applicants are elderly people and they will not change their digital habits. They will not start all the digital users overnight. So we were not able to change the left-hand side, and we decided to focus on the right-hand side to automate the process inside the insurance company. So as I said, it's not scalable. If insurance company would receive 400 emails per day, then they need to double the amount of agents. If agents are sick, the email processing is delayed. And of course, it was very, very error prone. So we decided to give it a try and to replace at least some of the agents, probably not all of them, of course, because we still do AI augmented data extraction. So we still need people who will be doing some reviews, verifications, corrections, also communicating with applicants back and forth over the email. So we were talking about replacing some of the full-time agents, or basically, or keeping the same amount of the full-time agents, but be able to increase the through output so they can process more emails per day. And this is the business process that we proposed. So basically, as you can see, left-hand side was not changed, and only process inside the insurance company was changed. So we decided to introduce Azure Function App that will be reading the mailbox, taking the attachments from the email, and then feeding them over the API into the Azure Cognitive AI Document Intelligence Service, and then results of the Azure Cognitive AI Document Intelligence Service will be again over the standard Azure API, will be fed into the underwriting application in the real time without any files. So that was the proposal we made. The insurance company agreed to build this application, and we started to build it. So let's see about the solutioning. We started to build it last year, around December last year, and even since then, the situation didn't change much. So it's very much up to date. The first obstacle that we saw that the current general availability release, and you probably know if you're Azure users, then you know that Azure services can be either generally available, so something that is production, that is stable, that is sustainable and long running, and they can be in the preview. So something that is not yet stable, that is changing, newest versions, recent versions where API can be changed, and so on. So and currently, the general availability release was still so-called Form Recognizer 4.0, dated August 2023, with the REST API dated July 2023. So it's almost 1 year old, and that was not usable for our use case. So what we opted for a so-called beta for the preview. So we decided to build on the preview, and we used the March edition of the 2024 at the time of I was preparing this presentation, and we were using the REST API from February 2024. Of course, as this is a preview version, it was not generally available across the globe in all Azure regions. But it was good enough available in United States, East and West, and for us, most important, it was available in Europe region where we actually deployed it. You should be aware that if you're working with the preview version, then this is a totally new client compared to Form Recognizer, and there are many methods and attributes remained. So if you're developers here and you will be developing something against document intelligence, then make sure that you're not using old libraries that are referring to Form Recognizer. They are not compatible with the latest API. So you need to drop away everything that is referring to Form Recognizer, and you need to onboard the tools, libraries, different dependencies that are working with the document intelligence version 1, at least on beta or the final one. So there are different new features like query fields or markdown output detection and extraction. Those were less relevant for us, so we were not exploring them very much. The only thing that you might be interesting, especially if you're upgrading from the older Form Recognizer, is the absence of streaming. So again, for us, it was not an issue because all our documents are anyhow were already stored somewhere. So in our case, they were stored in the storage account, and we were easy to convert them into the base 64 encoding and feed them into the document intelligence. That's like a no-brainer. But if, again, you will be upgrading from the Form Recognizer and your Form Recognizer was using a stream input, then please be aware that the stream input is currently not supported by document intelligence. I have no clue if it will be supported again or not, but just to be aware of. For us, it was not any issue because we never wanted to build any document streaming. Here, this query fields is quite interesting feature. We did not find a production use case for it, but I do recommend to dive deeper into the query fields, especially if you will be building some proof of concept for your client, or you need to do a quick demo, or you just would like to impress the customer. You can ask a customer for any document they can give you, and then in basically no time, using the query fields feature, you can query, you can list the fields, and Azure does the magic to extract the same named fields from the document layout should they be found there. Of course, limitation is that query fields support only up to 20 fields. So that's again probably not always fit for the production usage, especially when you have like a big forms where our forms were definitely more than 20 attributes, so we weren't able to build on top of that. But that's a very, very nice feature. I do recommend to explore it in depth. Okay, so basically, when we solved this first obstacle, so we decided to go with the preview feature, and very quickly we faced another obstacle that the we wanted to develop, of course, against the free tier, and then switch to the paid tier only when we go to production. Apparently, that was not much available for us because free tier in Azure has quite significant limitations. So you can see them here. Maximum document size is only 4 megabytes, and for those who are probably know how large is the even single photo made by the iPhone nowadays, you will know that it's far bigger than 4 megabytes. So of course, we immediately were not able to do much with it. Either we need to compress the images, and again, good luck to compress some PDF files, or compressing images also was not in our plans. So for us, it was easier to switch to the paid tier that supports files up to 500 megabytes. And also another significant limitation is that free tier only can extract data from 2 pages, from PDFs containing 2 pages, versus 2,000 pages in paid tier. And of course, our approach was to put all the attachments into one long PDF, and of course, it would be more than 2 pages. So again, it was not for us. Uh, of course, there are some other limitations, like load 1 request per second. That's not a problem. And also in free tier, you will be lacking some of the premium features. Again, most likely you don't need them unless you need to read the large pages, or detect font faces, detect some scientific formulas. But basically, for many use cases, you can start with the free tier if you're fine with the 2 pages maximum, or one image file. One image file is always 1 page. And you can compress your files up to 4 megabytes, and do not query it more frequently than 1 time per second. Then you're good to go with a free tier. Otherwise, opt for a paid plan. That's what we did. So then we listed a lot of features that our customer wanted us to build. And here you can see a few features that were particularly interesting, how to build them. So a customer asked us to verify if the application is complete. So means that among all those documents that applicant is sending over email to us, we need to find any ID document. We don't know which it will be, driving license or ID card, or the passport, but there should be any ID document. And obviously, all documents should be signed, and all documents should be properly filled in. So this is to the criteria for completeness of the application. Also, client was interested to check that application is consistent. So this means that all the documents belong to the same person, and all documents are valid, so they are not expired, not outdated. And once we started solving those challenges, we saw a lot of issues. So we faced the handwritten input. Obviously, you can imagine elderly people. Some of them have a very nice handwritten font. Some of them have really hard to read handwriting. We, as I said, we dealt with a variety of document layouts, and some of them were too poorly constructed, that fields were too small. People are also making corrections because of that. And we were putting several documents in one PDF files, in where pages are coming in random order. Also, people from all over the globe, they're using different date formats. Some of them writing date then months, others are writing month then date, and so on. And of course, we had to compare signatures, or it is customer desire was to compare if all the same person signing the documents, if a signature matches with the passport or ID card. So that's a lot of challenges we faced. So we started tackling them one by one. Here are a couple of examples you can find. So those are not a real data, but this what we tried to for this presentation, I just grabbed a couple of real forms and reproduced them very similar to what we faced in reality. So data is synthetic, but the idea is preserved. So we can see that small fields, corrections, unknown date formats, and so on. So we had to deal with these documents. So what we decided to build. So as I said, we had to deal with 200 applicants per business day, and after we put all the attachments into one PDF file, we got an average a PDF file with the 10 pages, so 10 images or 10 pages, 10 paper pages. So this means a load of 40,000 pages per month. This is without any growth. And our initial idea was that basically we will get this PDF, we will apply a custom classifier that will classify each page of the document. For example, page 1 is ID card, page 2 is social security document, page 3 good health declaration, and so on. And basically then we will apply some business rules, check if ID card is present, if everything is present, and then we will feed them into the for the data extraction using either pre-built models or custom models. So this was our initial design. Let's take a look at the costs. And with this design, we came up with a total cost of $3,000 to support this use case. So, and as you can see, the largest expenses we need to pay for the custom classifier. We picked up the cheapest possible tier, so we went with the commitment tier and some overage. So we need to pay hefty amount of money for classifier, and then also for the custom extractor. And we really cannot benefit much from the pre-built models. Pre-built models in Azure are very cheap, but in our case, we were able only to use them to extract the new plastic ID card, but not anything else. So that was quite expensive for us, and we thought that probably we need to a little bit to seek for optimization. So basically, as I said, that's the classifier didn't work very well because classifier was easily confused by the image of the kitten. If someone adds some image that our classifier cannot understand, then sometimes classifier also showed something similar to hallucinations. So it tried to classify, for example, the family photo. It was detecting an image there, and it was pretending that probably this family photo is a passport or ID card. Then pre-built models, as I said, they're aimed mostly to United States market, and in our use case, only ID cards we were able to recognize. And of course, we were with the classifier, we were not sure how to apply the business rules, and we were not able to tell exactly which forms are missing, because it could classify something, but we were then not sure how to detect which forms are we need to ask a client to send us additionally, and for what reason. So we had to deviate from this plan and to go to another design. And in another design, we decided to use plain old OCR. So you see on the top of this flow, we decided to use the pre-built read model. This is basically optical character recognition. So we decided to OCR everything that we have. This is very cheap. And then we will be finding our documents in the JSON. We will get a JSON result of the OCR, and there we will be searching by keywords, and we'll be identifying whether document is present in the submission, and then we will channel this document either or page where the document was found, either to the pre-built model, so ID card, or the custom extractor. And with this setup, you can see that we could save costs almost twice. So with $1,500 for the same load, we could do the same job. Of course, it also has some peculiarities. Yeah, that's basically the JSON is very large. The JSON has 7 megabytes of data in our case from 10 pages, and it consists of 200,000 lines. Yeah, that's what we got. And of course, if we apply there, so sometimes OCR also makes mistakes. So sometimes it confuses number 1 with letter L and so on. So if it's some fine print, then it's not always properly read. Yeah, so there are some inaccuracy. And I see a question. Thank you for your question, Mahdi. So you're asking what is the expected accuracy rate for data extraction in insurance industry normally, and what are our acceptable thresholds for accuracy. So yeah, we experimented a lot, and now we are still running in the, as I said, we are not aiming to replace all people by the AI. So we do AI augmented process, and currently we put the threshold at well, it depends on the particular document, but basically we say that if the confidence rate that Azure Document AI gives us is 95% for the data attribute or higher, then it's okay. So we say that 95% accuracy is good, and then we trust the AI model. But if we see that confidence level that is returned by the model is below 95%, then such submission is channeled to the manual processing, and then a human takes a look at the data. So we built a special UI for that, where a human user can open side by side the real file and what was extracted, and then a human can either confirm that okay, yes, probably confidence rate was 80%, but data was extracted correctly, or human rejects, and then we basically we do the feedback cycle. We every month we are gathering those documents with the low confidence scores, and then we upskill the model. So we train models and we deploy the updated models. So we try to improve our confidence rates. Also we applied some other techniques. Like for example, we can do the verification by the fuzzy similarity search. Sometimes, like for example, we can tolerate some mistakes in some data. For example, in the birth dates, if we know that, we can basically understand that if the birth date goes beyond certain thresholds as the data, we can fix it manually on the next step. Okay. Additionally, how will we handle errors and exceptions in the data extraction process? Yeah, as I said, so for example, when we extracted the date, we can in the .NET, so we're using .NET, so we can try to create a date from the extracted data, and if .NET tells us, sorry guys, you cannot create the date that is 25.25.25, then we understand that it was a data extraction error, data was invalid, and then we again channel it to the human processing. The same, for example, with different other data, bank account numbers. Some of them have a control digit. So we use a variety of methods to validate the data, and this is how we cope with that. And another question from Victor. We have numerous banks within the European Union with varying formats for bank statements. Oh yeah, I feel your pain. That's exactly was our use case. How do you train your model for these types? Okay, good. So we trained so-called composed model. So indeed, the only way that that we found that we obtained the bank statements from as much banks as it possible, and you can use the neural. There are two types of models. One is neural, another one is a template based. And pre-built models neither build our needs. As I said, Python pre-built models are mostly for United States, and for Europe currently there is not much. I hope that Azure will bring us also European Union models, but we're not there yet. So basically what we did, we gathered as much bank statements as possible. As I said, we were deploying to Italy, and Italy is quite a large country with dozens of banks. So we obtained as much bank statements as possible, and we're still obtaining them. And then we trained models based on them, and we opted for a composed model. So basically we train a model for each bank statement, and then we concatenate all those models into one model, and we have one model called banking statement. Then once we detected that our document is a banking statement, we show this document to this one model, and then Azure does the magic. So Azure applies a right one model inside the composed model. So basically, Victor, Google for or search for composed models. That's one option, and neural models is the second option that you can explore. So this was our approach. I'm not sure how scalable this would be for the whole European Union, but at least within the one country, Italy, it works reasonably well. Okay, let's move on. So, and then here is the summary, what we were able to build well and what not. So we were able to answer if any ID present very easily. So you can do it both with either classifier or with the read model and then finding by the keywords. All modern European Union ID cards are supported by the pre-built model. That's the only one pre-built model we're using, where it works really, really well. And for legacy ID cards, we trained a custom model, basically, and extracting data using it. Questionnaires was very easy to do with the custom model. So we trained custom models for each questionnaire we have, for each checkbox and mark, so field and not field. We always get 99.5% confidence level for checkboxes. So it's not a brainer at all. For the signatures, situation is different. So we were able to figure out that all papers are signed, but currently we abandoned idea to detect similarity of the signatures. So this we agreed with the customer that basically we will postpone it for the next release. So now we only basically detect the presence of the signatures. So all papers needs to be signed, but actually they can be signed by by anything. You can just put the tick box and it will count as signed. We're not yet detecting similarity of the signatures because it's out of the capabilities of the document AI. You need really to do it using the different part of AI to check for similarity of the images. So that will be in our backlog for the future development. Then, as I said, the problem of all documents belonging to the same person, that's problem does not occur very often for us, because mostly people are picturing their own documents. But we decided to rely. In Italy, there is a very convenient codice fiscale. So basically, it's similar to the SSN in America. So social security number, unique code, and it has a control digit, so we can check algorithmically whether it's correct or not. So we extract it from every document, we compare, and if we see that codice fiscale matches across all the documents, we're good to go. So this we do algorithmically, and of course sometimes we face a problem that we cannot read the codice fiscale automatically, control digit is not calculated. Then those submissions are moved to the manual processing. Yeah, and expired documents also easy. We extract the dates, we then try to compose the date, and then we validate against the current date. And as I said, sometimes we cannot compose the date because it was detected incorrectly by the OCR, and document AI confidence level is low, or we have month number more than 25 and so on. So this again solved by business logic and diverted to the manual processing. Handwritten input, surprisingly, was not a problem. You can totally rely on the document AI. It detects even a very poorly handwritten input with a very high confidence. Variety of layouts, yeah, that's what Victor asked. Explore composed model feature. The two small fields was a problem, so confidence suffers. Ideally, I would ask to improve printed forms to give enough space for humans to write there. We are not able to change the forms that we have, not always. So sometimes we divert to the manual processing. Corrections, again, always, as soon as human makes a correction, confidence suffers and you will get an unreliable result. So almost every time we have a correction in the form, it ends up with the manual human validation of the whole submission. Multiple documents in one PDF file, not problem at all. You can solve it with the read OCR or a classifier. Multi-page forms with the pages put in a random order, again, not a problem. It was a problem for the classifier, but not for the read model. Date formats already covered several times. Signatures, as I said, not solved now. And poor quality, bad angle photos, again, surprisingly, not a problem for document intelligence at all. We are receiving a very good quality in majority of the cases. Yeah, so after we built all that, we spotted another obstacle that currently, if you used to the very nice Document Intelligence Studio, so for the Azure portal graphical user interface, and you trained your model there, you will not find any button how basically to move it from your training instance to the production instance, or if you use to the three-tier architecture like development environment, testing environment, and staging environment or production environment, you are not able currently to move your models through the GUI between the instances of the document intelligence. So basically, we found a workaround, or actually it's not a workaround, it's a true way how Microsoft recommends it to do. They ask you to employ the REST API for this, and basically to build a pipeline and to copy the model from one environment to another. And even when you will be copying the model, the creation date is preserved. So if you created the model today, and tomorrow you will move it from one document intelligence instance to another, in the new instance, the model appears with the today date, so when it was originally created, not when it was physically created. That's quite neat. Read the API, and yeah, you can move the models only with the pipeline or API. That was a small obstacle that we faced in the last day before starting testing. To wrap up, lessons learned. The first lesson learned that Azure Document Intelligence Studio and Document AI is really, really cool product. It's easy and fun to use. It's very convenient, very handy, very user-friendly, so that even our business users were involved into the training and testing models, and we could spare our engineers for the coding and for solving most challenging tasks, and our business users significantly contributed into the testing and building models. This again case Victor provided. So our business users were obtaining bank statements, and they were training model and they were creating the composed model out of it, even without involvement of our software engineers. So now we're waiting. So we are still using the preview version, and we're waiting for Azure Document Intelligence version 1, rumored to be available in July or somewhere in summer this year, generally available. And once it becomes, it should be a really amazing product. that is capable to solve the hardest tasks of data extraction, and I definitely recommend you to use it and to start building around it. So you could see that it's already quite reasonably priced. And if you are cost sensitive, then you can even more reduce the bill by either opting for the commitment tier. So when you know that you will have a constant load of thousands of documents per month, then you can employ the commitment tier, or you can go with the basically offline. So with the container instances, if you still have your on-prem data center, your own Kubernetes running somewhere under your desk, then you can package Azure Document AI offline, and basically you can deploy it locally on premise and ensure even lower costs and even higher data privacy. So you will not be transferring your data into the Azure cloud. And finally, as I said, don't worry. We are not taking, at least we don't foresee that AI is that major to take a lot of human jobs. That most likely will not happen anytime soon. But AI is definitely already here as a great tool to augment humans and assist human in attention-intense tasks, like data extraction is one brilliant example. Thank you, and we have a few minutes for a question round. I see a question from Mahdi. Let me answer it. So, are there specific regulatory requirements we need to adhere to? Well, I'm not an expert in regulatory part, so I definitely recommend you to consult. Uh, for our use case, we consulted. We have a special compliance GRC, basically GRC guy sitting both on the customer side and on our side, and we were exploring regulations only of one country, Italy. And if you heard about the AI Act in European Union was recently released, so definitely approach professionals to consult them. For our use case, what we heard that as soon as we are not making a decisions on the underwriting with the AI, we are not affected by the regulatory requirements. So in our case, decisions are made exclusively by humans, but AI only assists humans with the data extraction. And if we are have a low confidence scores, then we always forward document for the human inspection, and also we have some, even for the documents that are were extracted very well, we also do a sporadical control, so we compare the data by humans and so on, so humans are still employed. Thank you. I see Mozen appeared back.
Yeah,
Mozen, so
thank you very much. Cool. Very nice session. Thank you very much again about the topic. And actually, your presentation is very cool. I think I need to more watch again because it was very interesting. And last thing, Zahra, which question did you select as a winner for exam voucher? We have a two question from Mehdi and Victor.
yeah, I think the questions from Mehdi were very relevant, and especially the first one about the accuracy rate for the data extraction. I think that's was the winning question.
Yeah, thanks again, Mehdi. Please send us the message from LinkedIn or other ways. We will provide you exam voucher. Thanks again, Zah. If there is no question, we can end of this session. Thanks again.
Thank you, and have a good continuation of the day, everybody. Thank you for this opportunity to talk to you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.